All right, so let's talk about this Finesse2Tymes situation that allegedly happened in Texas once again, man. So it looks like Finesse2Tymes has been going around Texas doing shows here and there, and he's hitting all the major spots, you know, where people do shows in Texas. Like, Texas is his own dang country. I swear to God, you could go, if you blow up in Texas, like your Slim Thugs, your Chamillionaires, those people from the past, Paul Wall, I should say, because Chamillionaire kind of left the rap game. But, you know, they tour around Texas, and it seems like Finesse2Tymes said, while I'm hot, I might as well get some of this Texas money too, you know, since he's living out here and, you know, basically a celeb out here. But he keeps going to different cities and running into issues. And it looks like he might have ran into a situation in Fort Worth. Now, Fort Worth has a nickname. It's also called the Murder. And it's called that because Fort Worth has a history of having gangbanging going down there heavy. I'm talking about heavy. Now, people might think that I'm making this up, or they've never been to Fort Worth and don't understand how bad gangbanging is in Fort Worth, but it's serious. It's to that level, you know, like the gangs have been at it a long time, decades for most part, you know, it's gangland there, you know, it really goes down. Now, LA is obviously the real home of the gangland, and Chicago for show. But Fort Worth, it goes down like that. And it looks like Finesse2Tymes then ran into a situation in Fort Worth where he ended up having to bark on some people and letting them know he ain't going for that. Now, the rumor is some people tried to press him and have him check in. You know what I mean? Either make him pay or either make him give shout outs or either show some sort of respect for some people there. But it looks like whatever they were asking him to do, he wasn't going for it. So, man, let's check out this. Now, it sounds like somebody's speaking in a different language in the background. I don't know who he's into it with, but there's obviously several people trying to usher him out of the situation, and it looks like Finesse is like, nah, man, he don't want to look like he's scared, but let's see.
Man, who the fuck saying he gotta check in? Ain't none of you niggas real.
Man, so it sounded like somebody really asked him that or told him that he had to check in, which is lame, you know what I'm saying? Because you gonna make Justin Bieber check in? You know, I like to go back to that example. I don't know who first said it. I want to say Charleston White or somebody. But, bro, you only do that to your own people, man. And people are tired of it, man. They passed all that. You don't have to check into nowhere, man. Forget all that. If you ain't showing love to me, you don't want general respect, you don't want to be a fan, then just don't be, man. But all that extorting cats is out the window, man. It's over. Nobody is going for it. And Finesse2Tymes looks like he's not going for it either.
Man, who the fuck saying he gotta check in? Ain't none of you niggas real.
Yeah, somebody who was filming this basically caught it. He said, man, who said he had to check in? Because ain't none of you real. You know what I mean? You guys are saying he has to check in, but, man, who are you? You know, back to that. Like, who are you, man, to be telling somebody to check in, first off? And second off, man, this is lame. I'm gonna be real, man. He said he don't want to hear that coming out of nobody's mouth. Now, I'm assuming that somebody told him to check in or that, or either this or that, or try to pose some kind of threat to him, and he was just responding according to how he should, right?
Man, who the fuck saying he gotta check in? Ain't none of you niggas real.
And that's the problem, man. It be cats who it could have been somebody trolling too and just saying anything, but man, sometimes you got to watch those type of words because, rappers and people like that, they be on alert. And as soon as you say something crazy like that out your mouth, you're going to have cats standing on cars like you see Finesse2Tymes here doing, and all sorts of things happening, man. This is crazy, man. I'm mad somebody came at him like that. But, I mean, to be real, you can't be mad at Finesse2Tymes in this situation because he responded accordingly to a threat. Like if somebody posed a threat, like you better check in or you got to do this or that, first off, you a grown man. So forget all that, man. I ain't doing none of that, man. So once again, we have a situation where Finesse2Tymes is being put out there like, he's not like he's the bad guy, but like he's having controversy or he's having issues out here in these streets. Now, the thing about Finesse2Tymes, once he came out of federal holding, or after he got out of the feds, I should say, he ended up doing really well in rap initially. A lot of the things that have been popping up lately are a lot of his relationship stuff and a lot of these things doing with like outside of rap specifically, like all sorts of street stuff that have zero to do with rap. Now, as far as him and his rap career, I don't know where Finesse2Tymes at this point stands because I haven't seen him next to Mob Ties or any of them anytime, in the present. And I haven't seen anything being said by anybody from that team about Finesse2Tymes and all these issues he's been having out here in the street. Now, this could have been worse than what it was. You had Finesse2Tymes standing on top of a car. Looks like he was at a show or either leaving a show or something like that, and it could have really went bad. But you can judge by all the people around him and in the vicinity, they obviously didn't want this thing to go bad, and they were looking out for his best interest. But man, when you're a rapper with a high profile, you're going up like that, people really looking up to what you're doing out here and really appreciating your music, you're always going to have haters and you're always going to have enemies in the game. So, man, hopefully Finesse2Tymes made it out of that situation all right. It looks like he did. People were ushering him back into the car. It just looks like he had to stand his ground and let people know that he wasn't going for all that checking in, man. That's out. And that was a practice that people, they over-abused and did that too much anyways, man. When people were going out to L.A., checking in with, all these different figures or whatnot, man, it just was it seemed like an extortion attempt on your own people. And you're really taking advantage of the fact that somebody's out there trying to get their money, man, which is the worst part, You're basically telling them they can't get their money in your city or your town without your approval, and that's bunk, man. That's out, you know what I mean? But, man, this is crazy, man. It looks like Finesse2Tymes keeps having issue after issue in these streets, especially in Texas.